Hey everyone, welcome back to 4J Music. I've got a fun one for you today. We've been playing the song Good by Cody Carnes. It's maybe been around for a year or so. The key we play it on, I don't want to get into the whole Revelation song debate and what key that's in. So I'm just going to tell you the chords that we're playing. You can decide if you want to use flat sevens and minor fives to analyze the progression, or if you want to be, in a different key and say that we're starting on the 5 chord. Okay, to me, and I'll give you my opinion, because we are playing where the chord progression is for the chorus is D, A minor, G, and E minor. To me, it actually does sound like for a large part of the song, D is the tonal center. So I'm going to call it D, but understand that, just like Revelation song, there are times of it when it seems like the tonal center could be, shifted or whatever. You could call it either way. I'm going to be open to that discussion. How about that? So I'm just going to go ahead and play the interview mix from this past Sunday. All right, so just dancing back and forth there between those pairs of notes there.
Chorus.
That was not the best release or the way to finish that musical idea. I think if I had a chance to do it over, I'd do something a little bit different. All right, so we have some octaves coming up, and so I'm going to say a couple things about that. Number one, the notes are going to be D, C natural, and B. Even when it feels like D is the tonal center, stay away from C sharp. It's not going to set up the song well later on or anything that happened earlier. It's just not going to fit well. And so stay away from C sharp. The second thing is, if you notice, I had some delay on that. You see, I just turned it off right there. I actually have a video coming out here soon that I've been working on. If you have an older keyboard that does not have delay built into it, I've got you covered. So make sure you're looking out for that, okay? Now, this is a good musical moment for an ensemble. Remember the rule. Anytime we have one or more of something, you want to make sure there's musical direction either going up or down volume-wise. Okay, so we're actually getting louder, stronger here, building into the last 2 refrains. We did 5 total, and the last 2, it's a little bit of a familiar lick there. If you are a fan of Coldplay.
Refrain 2, 3, 4.
Yeah, we had a little fun with that. It's just it fits, progression-wise, it's really close. Not quite exactly the same thing.
3, 4.
Now listen to my right hand and the snare drum. It's just the rhythm and the contour of what she's doing on the snare drum is something I'm trying to follow. And I think I had another video a while back that you may have missed about rhythm ostinatos. That's a good way to make sure your band is actually tight and it sounds on purpose. And just to finish that thought, I noticed that our drummer, coming out of the refrain, she always does that 2 hits, the 8th notes on 2 and 4, mostly on 2. And so I jumped on that, and I'm going to go 2 and 1, 2 and, just to mirror that. And it gives me something to do so I'm not pecking away at something else. But it sounds intentional and like we rehearsed it, and it's a habit of being able to play with somebody that does the same thing all the time, and they're consistent, so you're not having to guess, where you're going next. And so just something to keep in mind. Now, I do want to go back to the Coldplay thing, just so I don't get sued, okay? It is not the same progression, and it is not the same feel. I think on the clocks, it's only a 1 measure per chord. And then I changed it up enough that, should I get deposed a la Pharrell Williams, I actually have the theory knowledge, unlike him, to be able to back it up and say, actually, I was doing something completely different.
Are you going to tell me what you meant by 6/8 time signature and what you meant by pentatonic harmonies or not? I'm not comfortable.
You know, so anyway, I just want to make sure I put that out there in case you're wanting to get rich off of me. Not that you're going to get any money off of me, but anyway, all that, had a lot of fun with that, and I think it was a really good way to continue the rise, the build in that musical moment. If you heard me say a second ago, when there's more than one of something, you know, and by that I mean more than one chorus or one bridge or one verse or something, you want to make sure there's direction so it doesn't get stale. And so that's what I meant by that. And that was actually a really good way to make sure that we had that arrival to the bridge after those refrains. So I hope it's something that has been enjoyable for you and that you can actually maybe get something out of that. If you want to steal any of that, hey, go for it. Or if you want to like do something completely opposite and be like, don't do what those people did, that is fine too. So I hope this is something that you got something out of, and we'll see you next time. All right, bye-bye.